Alright, in this video, I'd like to show you how to create a quiz in Edmodo. First thing is, from your main homepage in Edmodo, you have some options here in these tabs. One of them is quiz. So if we click on quiz, you can either create a quiz or load a previously created quiz. If I pick that, I actually have a whole bunch of quizzes that I used to use that I created a couple years ago. But I'm not going to use them. I'm actually going to show you how to create a quiz. So first thing is, we hit create a quiz, and this screen will come up, and what it'll do is that it'll actually give us a default name for it that's got code as far as the time, date, and all that stuff. You're going to want to change that right away. So I'm going to call this a test quiz for video, because I'm actually going to delete it later. One of the things you can set then is a default time limit. You can make it 60 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, it doesn't matter. Next thing is, you can't assign it until you've actually created some questions. So we need to add your first question to start a quiz. So one of the options is to create a multiple choice question. So we're going to hit multiple choice, and we're going to hit add first question. And what will happen is, here's the question prompt. So what school does Mr. Bailey teach at? And then you can have some responses. You put North Side, Snyder. And then, in order to have 4 or more distractors, because by default it's set up to have 2, you just hit add a response. You can do Northrop, and you can do, let's see, Southside. So I've created a correct answer and three distractors. Now, FYI, when the quiz comes out, that actually is the order that the distractors will be in. You have to mix up those distractors. So once you've created a question, then, all right, you're done. So then, if you want to add another question, the next thing that you'll do is you click on add a new question. So question number 2, see, it has a blank prompt. How many kids does Mr. Bailey have? And I actually only have 1 kid, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 4 in this first one, 3, and then I'm going to add a response, and 2, and I'm going to add a response, 1, and I typed in those answers. But now I want to set this one as the correct answer. So you've got to change, which is the correct answer, because the questions and the distractors occur in the same order of the quiz every time. So that's one way. Now another way then, so those are multiple choice questions. Now to add another question, but you want it to be a different type, I hit next, and you see there's a third question. I'm going to change it from multiple choice. You can pick true, false, you can pick short answer, or matching, or fill in the blank. I'm going to pick short answer just for sake of illustration. Why do you come to school? And what you can do too is you can change the point value, so like a short answer might be worth 5 points instead. And what will happen is you can't put in the correct answer. You've actually got to grade this question on everybody's quiz, because you have to read their response and then give them a point total from 0 to 5 in order to do it. But in either case, you can do a short answer question as well. So if we look at true, false, you'll see that it's slightly different. The correct answer is true, or you can pick false. It doesn't matter, but you've got to put in a question prompt. Mr. Bailey eats vegetables, and the correct answer is true. So that's just an example of how to do quizzes. And then when you're done creating the quizzes, you have that already ready to go. If you want to assign it to your students, you just click assign quiz, and it'll think a second because it's got to make sure that it has everything. And you have to pick a group that you want to send it to. So I'm going to send it to test group. And then if I want to make sure, if I think that this quiz is a good quiz, I'll add it to my grade book, or you can have it not. See, and that's why I like Edmodo. You can give a test and say, okay, everybody bombed it. Was that my fault? All right, they bombed it. Why? And then you can go back and reteach and then reassess, and then you can add results that actually show student learning rather than ones that show lack of teaching at the point. So that's one of the reasons why you like to have the option to add it to the gradebook or not. And then you got to give it a due date. So you can pick the, that it's due tomorrow. And then you just hit send, and there it is. And so when you hit send, this will show up in the feed of that test group. And so students will have to take it when they log in and they click on it, and it's good to go. So that's how you actually create and assign a quiz in Edmodo. It's a pretty handy feature, and there's other ways of doing it too, but that's probably the most simple and direct way.